Hi, it's Eva, and today I wanted to talk to you about how to incorporate micro practices in your daily routine to become a better speaker. So why even bother doing this? Well, what I noticed was we're spending so much time texting or posting on social media, sending emails, writing blogs, that we're not actually communicating. We're not really talking. And the problem with not talking is we have a tough time then when we do need to speak up, because talking can't be auto-corrected. Talking can't be edited. Talking takes learning how to think on your feet. So I realized that if we just incorporate some micro practices into our day-to-day routine, we get a lot better at communicating a lot faster, and we don't lose that skill set. Because I know myself, there can be days where I think to myself, oh my gosh, I don't think I've talked to anyone except Charlie for 2 days. And that's crazy. And I've been communicating, but it's been via email, via social media, via text. It hasn't actually been talking. And someone can ask me a question out of the blue, and sometimes I can get a little flustered because I haven't been practicing actually communicating. So here are some of the ways that you can micro practice. One of the ways is to talk to people either at the store or in line. So yesterday I was at Starbucks, and I know the person behind the counter. I talk to him a little bit every day, but typically it's just, hi, how are you? And then I say, tall iced coffee. But this time it went a little further. He asked me how my weekend was, and instead of just saying it was fine, I actually told him I went to see a movie, because I've heard him talking about movies before, and told him about a movie that we saw and what I thought of it. And then he responded in kind, and we had a little bit of an interaction, much more so than we typically would. That's a micro practice. That's really all it takes. Or let's say you're at work and you're on a conference call. Well, conference call is a really easy place to hide. So instead of kind of kicking back or working on something else, instead of actually listening to the conference call, pick a conference call and decide you're either going to ask a question or you're going to make a statement. What that will do for you is, A, people will know that you're on the call, and they will know that you're engaged. And again, it will be a little bit of a practice. You can also record yourself answering a question or asking a question, or even talking about yourself, maybe working on your elevator pitch. You can just use your phone. So use the voice recorder on your phone and record yourself, either asking someone a question in a meeting that you thought of, or how you would respond if someone said, well, what is it that you do? How would you respond? And record yourself. If you only record a minute worth of an elevator speech, you could do 60 recordings in an hour. So if you think about just taking 15 minutes to do that, or even 10 minutes to do that, you will work on practicing your elevator speech, and it's not really going to take that much time. Also, if you're an entrepreneur, why don't you try recording a video or an audio? You don't have to use it, but it will get you into that practice. So many times we get so worried about how we're going to look or how we're going to sound. Just take a little bit of time and record yourself and see how you look and how you sound. And then if you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. And the biggest thing is make a call instead of sending a text or an email. And I know that for me, I prefer sending a text or an email, but calling is so much easier. No more back and forth. You're just saying what you really want to say, and you'll get a little practice in. So I hope you enjoyed this quick webinar, and that you will take some of these micro practices and start incorporating them into your day-to-day routine. If you have any questions, just reach out to me at eva@charlieandeva.com. Thanks for listening.